Hi, this is Randy Randall of No Age and host of the podcast Hyphenate with Randy Randall. I want to welcome our newest sponsor of the show, DistroKid. DistroKid helps musicians get their music on all the major streaming platforms, and artists keep 100% of their royalties. Hyphenate listeners get 30% off at distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate. Again, that's distrokid.com/VIP/HYPHENATE. Go get your music streaming everywhere now. Hello, what's happening? Thank you for tuning into Hyphenate Halftime with me, your host, Randy Randall, and my ever-trusty co-host, Mr. Aaron Farley. How are you doing this day, Mr. Aaron Farley?
I'm doing well. I'm a little tired.
No!
I got a whole extra hour, but...
I got that extra hour, and I'm shot out of a fucking cannon here. Woo!
Sounds like it. You're ready to go. It's like Ric Flair over there.
Woo! All right.
Let's go.
We're done with spooky season, on to turkey season. Man, this Monday is hitting me like a ton of bricks.
Although turkey season seems to be, it gets the snub. It instantly goes from Halloween
to Christmas
at Lowe's or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually went in there because I was gonna buy. I was like, I'm gonna go buy a spider web or something like that. And now I was like,
one web, please.
No, it's
Can you
Christmas
point me to your
trees.
web department? Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it was Christmas trees. They didn't have any Halloween stuff. This was a week and a half ago.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm telling you, it was already done. Halloween starts in August.
I know.
Ends about mid-October. By October 15th, it's all Christmas jingle bells.
Like everybody, and I do wonder, like,
you had a month and a half to buy it, but yeah,
I
2 weeks
just
before.
am the guy that doesn't do things like 2 months in advance. Where there's, I don't understand
supply chain
personality. I don't understand the personality of someone who's like, "Ooh, it's going to be Christmas in December, and it's now. Like, we should stock up."
Because you don't have that.
I can't be buying Christmas stuff right now. I'm not in the headspace.
It's so funny. Well, I think getting back to the idea of the turkey snub. I think if we could get 12-foot turkey skeletons to put on the yard or something, or some kind of large scale animatronic motion censored smoke spewing turkey decorations. If we got to normalize that, I think that's the next thing that has to happen is
normalize
decorate your house.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly. I think that should be our campaign. hashtag normalize big turkey.
Yeah.
This is big turkey time, guys. Hold off on those trees and those candy canes. Let's make sure we acknowledge the big gobbler in town.
I mean, is it because for Thanksgiving, it's usually the holiday where you get together with family that you haven't seen in a long time, and it becomes kind of contentious and weird.
Well, as you know,
like,
tomorrow we have an exciting day that I'm sure is going to be perfectly normal. I'm sure everybody's holidays, Thanksgiving tables will be very chill and not weird and not tense at all after this election that is happening. I'm sure it'll be very normal. Right. This is a very normal time of year. I don't imagine anything politically or interesting happening.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
No cultural divides.
I have a friend who's doing a photo shoot. And they're booked. They're shooting next week
on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they're just shooting all week, then they just got an email from production going so the
world might explode.
We were hearing that there might be some potential, unrest and upheavals in some of the areas we're shooting. So we're very concerned about this. And I was like, you didn't look at the map? You didn't look at the date 6 months ago when you were setting up this shoot and go, do we want to shoot on election week, guys? Do you think some stuff could go down?
Are they shooting in DC?
No, just in LA.
Federal company. Yeah. No, I have a friend who works near the train station, Union Station, and they got a note saying, and all major hubs of transportation, I'm sure LAX is crazy. The train stations are crazy. Everything is kind of just on extra high alert.
All next week is all the cops are getting double, triple time, overtime.
I'm
getting
sure it'll
ready.
be fine. I mean, come on, we're
What could go wrong?
Americans. We
What
get
could go wrong?
along.
We
You know
just
what I
have
mean?
this beautiful system that works every time, and nobody
Yeah.
lies about anything. And it's just, we just move on to the next. Just like George Washington, he gave up his power so easily,
He cut
and
down the cherry tree with those wooden
and
teeth
yeah,
and just said,
and
"Hey,
King.
two terms is enough for anybody. Let's just go ahead and
He was
have
like,
fun, play
listen
ball."
here, King George. I am not like you. I am an American now. We give up
Yeah.
power easily.
Well,
Don't worry about all the people that.
as long as rich white landowners vote for whoever they want to, then that's who we're all
Yeah.
going to listen to. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
But
I
I don't want to dwell too long on the election because like a force of nature. It's going to be what it is here. Josh Newton was
Yeah.
the guest last week, and I
Yeah.
realized I really got to prepare for Halloween. I think that was the lesson I had to learn.
Why?
I had not thought about Halloween. I don't know. I just hadn't thought about doing a special Halloween show. Like
Oh
next year
yeah.
it'll be on a Friday. Again, it's like
Do
I got
like a
caught
spooky show.
off guard with the election.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, I was not
Yeah.
prepared for a Halloween spectacular. It's only the second year. It's only the second Halloween we've been doing the show. I don't know what we did for last Halloween.
Did you do? I mean, I feel like last Halloween you had only been doing the show for like a month or something.
Yeah, I was probably just nervous and editing and hoping I got everything together correctly and my voice didn't crack, and I probably over edited every little.
Hi guys,
and
happy Halloween!
Oh boy, oh geez. Wow, this show's. I'm really professional at this show. Oh boy.
I sure hope you guys like it.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Oh jeez.
Click the like button. I don't know if I made a like
I think I was
button.
welcoming our new sponsor, DistroKid, like
I
do every episode. Our brand new sponsor, DistroKid, that we've had for over a year now.
I think it should be your brand new sponsor for
Forever?
every single show forever.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to our brand new sponsor.
Yeah.
But no, I think Josh was very kind to come on and do the show, and a gear nerd of the highest order. He really was. It was fun to talk guitars. Hopefully, it wasn't the nerdiest episode.
Oh, I love hearing you guys talk about gear because I'm the same. Like I've always gotten to the point. Like sometime I'm gonna get like the 4 guitars I'd like to get, even though I don't play my Firebrand
guitar you
barely
have,
at all.
Oh, I know.
But that did remind me though that I would like to get T-tops for that.
Right. You don't have the original Zebra.
No, it
T-tops
has like
some
Seymour Duncans in it.
Oh, some replacement
Which
ones.
is fun. I mean, whatever. It's like to play out of the little mini orange amp upstairs in the
just
loft
powerful enough.
On 2. I think I'm okay.
Oh my god! Yeah,
but I would like to get it's that like $200. What would it be? It's like a couple $100.
Yeah.
And like,
but it'd be that project that you just have to that you never do for another like 5 years. Also, they'd be sitting in a box next to the guitar.
Yeah. Well,
like, I got to take it apart. And I got to solder it. Desolder the first ones, resolder the next ones.
Oh, I would take that shit in and just like have someone else do it.
Oh,
I take it into what's the place in Future Music.
Oh yeah,
that's where I took it before when I first
Jack's
got
great.
it to get it like to have it gone through and everything.
Oh, that's good.
Which is awesome.
Like, Jack,
but I get a couple like Jack's awesome, and I've got a couple of little loose little things in there and stuff. And I'm like, I should probably get this. It's been like 4 years, I think, since I've had that guitar, and I've only had it looked at once, so it's probably good. Every time I try to open anything like that up, I'm like, look at it on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, this is easy. You just need like a little wrench or need a little pliers, and you make sure stuff. And every time, either I look at it and I go, wait, that's not the exact same thing, and then it doesn't.
Oh yeah,
and then I screw it up. I can't even tighten like the 1/4 inch in.
Well, it has the one on the side, right? Like the long bullet one is on the side of the body.
Yeah. And
those are closed back things, which are like really long. They're like an inch or 2.5 long. They are very hard to work with. I remember. Yeah, I had to get that replaced in like Denton, Texas.
Oh really?
Like on a tour, early tour, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. And the guy kind of looked at me. He's like, yeah, these are hard These are not common parts. This is an old,
Yeah.
weird Norland era Gibson thing that we do. But I love how they have the jack on the side. It's
Yeah.
much nicer than the front.
Yeah,
mounted
totally. You
one.
don't have that cord popping out. Yeah, so I would like to have that done. And I have to take, Lila has her little Squire that I got her for her birthday a year and a half ago, and the neck is starting to like, it's starting to like
out.
settle and bow out a little bit. So I need to.
Couple
I'm like,
turns on the
we've
truss
got
rod.
we've got the little truss rod wrench, and I'm
It
going to
comes
do
in the-
this, and I'm
comes in
like,
the
no,
bag.
I need to not. I'm going to strip this truss rod right out, and this is going to be useless.
Truss rods are relatively, especially on the Squire thing.
That's what someone says. That's
you turn it one way and it does one thing, and you turn it the other way, it does the other thing.
Yep, and I'm the guy that thinks it's one way and it's the other way, and
you just keep going more.
I
and
do
more
it,
and more.
and I'm like, why isn't this working? Yeah. And it looks like a banana.
The best lesson I learned with guitar repair or guitar anything is to knowing which screws to use hand screwdrivers with and which ones to use like a drill, like a screw gun on. Most of them you want to go by hand. Because the over tightening and the cracking and the thing. Yeah, the cosmetic stuff all done by hand. But I used to strip out stuff all the time. I'm gonna get this tiny screw out here. Hold up. Oh shit! Now there's a huge scratch on the front of it. Why are all my pick guards broken? Why are all the pick guards cracked around the screw holes here? I cracked the pick guard.
I also have this, like my very first guitar, which was like one of those little beginner kit guitars, the Epiphone Special 2.
Oh, sure.
That was from so many years ago. And I was still playing that guitar when we first started Sabertooth Tiger, and we were playing at the, what's it called? 2100? No, 4100.
Okay.
No.
What are you talking about?
What's the place? Three Clubs.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that place?
Yeah. On
and there
Santa
was like
Monica and Vine.
Yeah, there were like the stairs. They were like the little stairs, and you'd play in that little tiny pit, and there's surrounded by stairs. And I thought I would be awesome. I'm like, it's carpet. I'll take my guitar off and just throw it on the carpet, whatever, and hit right on the corner of the stairs. And since the front of it is basically like balsa wood or whatever, just the volume knobs and tone knobs just smashed right in. Just. And then I still played it.
1/8 of an inch
it didn't do
thick
anything.
of wood there, just boom, just dented them in. Now they're recessed. Now it's custom.
And it didn't do, like I still played it. I kind of went in the back and pushed it out so where I could still turn the knobs, whatever. I mean, it was only just on full anyway. I didn't really need the knobs.
Yeah, you didn't really do anything with it, probably bypass them. Yeah.
And then it just made it sound cool when you'd like roll them. You'd roll them on to instant feedback and start playing. And then, but I still have that guitar, and I fixed it multiple times. And then I took those knobs out and like put like just a switch on there. Thought that would work. That didn't work. But I really want that guitar to just have a switch that's just on and off. Yeah. And then the on is just full and the off is just off. So I would like to do that.
It's very easy to do.
Point. Yeah, maybe by the time I'm 60. That'll be my project. They'll get done by the time. Because I've tried it. I'm like, the wiring can't be that hard. And then I took out one of the pickups on that guitar at one point.
Even easier. I don't know. Now you just need one pickup. Yeah.
I have one single pickup, but then it has like double wiring still. I don't know.
Bring it over. We'll have an afternoon next time you're in town. Come over and have some pizza and dinner, and we'll spend an hour in here.
We'll upload some stuff on DistroKid and
we gotta do
put a switch in a guitar.
It's very easy. Yeah. No, I feel so happy having that level. Obviously, I'm not as talented or as skilled as the guest Josh Newton, but I'm just through breaking enough stuff, I've had to get relatively handy.
Well, then your dad was an electrician too, right?
Right.
So he kind of
taught you things and
taught you enough of soldering and how like little circuits work and stuff like that.
A little bit, yeah. Because then the level of where I can still say electrical is like kind of like plumbing. One comes in, one goes out. So as long as everything coming in is connected, and then everything going out, as long as there's no leaks,
Yeah.
or no
Except for you can't really
stops.
kill yourself if you plumb something wrong.
That's true. Yeah. You have to be really.
It's just messy.
You have to be really good at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the amount of electricity that goes to an electric guitar is very low voltage, so you're okay with that. The amps, on the other hand, can get fun. Those can kill you. Anything that plugs into a wall But
Yeah.
if you're plugging, the guitar, it has such low voltage.
Yeah, you're fine.
I know. It's fun. It's fun after you get through like the years of blowing stuff up, and you're on to the like, okay, now this is how this is going to work. I know what a TRS cable is. Those little like, okay, here's what 120 volts is. Here's what 240 volts is. And all the little fun moments, like it's a 9-volt battery. Okay, so it's like if if what comes out of the wall is 120 of something, and what's in that battery is 9 of those. So if you just think about that, if you could put a battery on your tongue, 9 volts you can put on your tongue for a little little quick pick me up.
Even when you
120
said
of those, then like that's a lot. So you get a ratio, you get a valuation of like what a volt is.
Right. Yeah. And when you said that, I just got that volt. I got that volt through my tongue.
You got that taste.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We got this. It's this smoke detector is good. Let's go check the other smoke detectors.
Okay. The pedal should be working.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's not the pedal's fine. It's something else. Something else isn't plugged in.
Have you, speaking of pedals, have we talked about this before? Have you ever tried to build your own pedal?
No.
Like with one of those kits or anything?
Shockingly, no. I bought the JHS clone pedal for $100.
Yeah.
And it was on my lazy day, bench of things. It's in I guess it's the lazy day box of things I could do on a lazy day. And I've had a lazy day, believe it or not, since then. And I did not want to do it. It did not sound fun. Of all the things I could do on a lazy day, it was like eating lunch and sitting on the couch and watching Heat, I think was what I chose to do instead of building a pedal.
I hear you.
So maybe I'm looking for, maybe if I ever get 2 lazy days in a row after I make lunch for myself and sit quietly and watch a movie by myself, then I can make a pedal.
Yeah. I'm starting to really try to cut out bad ideas.
Ooh.
In my and I'm realizing that I always kind of
those are the only ideas you have.
Well, yeah, for a while, for sure. But that I have this. I'm realizing that I have this thing that it's my my superpower, but is also the villain. Mm-hmm. Is that I look at something and I'm like, yeah, I can figure that out. I can do that.
Oh, of course,
totally figure that out. I know but then the other side of it is that it's like the too overconfident. And then the other side of it is that I'm realizing that I only see things at the very end. I don't see steps at all.
Right. We talked about this.
So I'm right. So, and that has driven so much of what I've done in my life, which is good. Like being a photographer.
Yeah.
And not thinking like, how could I make this really beneficial to myself? Oh, there's all this other stuff in the middle. What stuff in the middle? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Take the picture.
Even 20 years later.
Yeah.
Even 20 years later, I'm like, I never figured out the stuff in the middle. But the guitar pedal thing goes to that same thing. And this is why I try not to like browse eBay anymore or the internet. Because I see things like pedal kit and I'm like, that's gotta be easy, right? And so you like buy something like that. And then I start first day and I'm kind of like you were just saying.
Yeah.
Oh my God, wait, this isn't fun. Or what's all this stuff in the middle? I'm supposed to be able to just like put things together and it's
read
done
a schematic
and it's finished and it's perfect.
Yeah. Why is my soldering iron like on fire or ice cold?
I don't even have a soldering iron.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, wait, now I have to go
step
buy
number 1.
iron.
Now I got to go buy a soldering iron. Well, that's why Radio Shack was the best because there literally was a community like retail storefront for I could do this. For every time the dad said I could do this, there was a trip to Radio Shack.
Yeah.
And then you would just come home with more stuff to throw in the trash at the end of the night. Now you're $40 in and somehow signed up for a cell phone plan and a CB radio, which you definitely didn't need, but you have that because you just couldn't leave there without it. And a $40 robot on top of that.
Yeah. Totally.
And then now you're home and none of it works, and you still don't know what you're doing, but you feel even worse because you've sunk money into it. So now it like really feels bad when you throw it in the trash.
This is how so many of those stores even stay afloat. Like even Lowe's and Home Depot. Like I'll go to Home Depot. I'm like, I need a screwdriver or whatever, and then I'm like, well, I should probably walk around just in case because I know that I need something. and then you walk around and go, oh wait, I need blue painter's tape.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I need
some gloves, some new
whatever,
gloves.
and this
My
and
gloves
that.
suck. Yeah.
And every time it's
bungee straps,
$40 to $80, and you get up there and you're like, how does this stuff all add up to $60? And then you come home and you go, what was I going to use that for? And you don't, and so it just goes in the box of the like, well, I'll just put this in with the screws because I'm sure I needed this for something.
Screws! That's why I came for there for. Shit, I needed drywall screws.
Yeah,
God
but then you'd buy the wrong size.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, well, I'll go back next time.
I'm going to return all this stuff. I'm definitely going to return these. I don't need these things.
And I've realized I like $40 myself into oblivion. Because that's one store. And then the next store is like Target. And you go into Target and go, right, I need pens and I also need, I should probably get some yogurt. I should probably, or whatever. And you're like walking through. I'm like,
definitely need some new underwear and some socks. Yeah, why not get the socks? Yeah.
$60, $70. And then you bring it home and like, where am I going to put all this
stuff?
I don't even
t-shirt's pretty cool. I could probably wear this Deadpool shirt.
Yeah.
The kids would like that. Oh yeah. One of those. Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely like $40 to $50 to myself into oblivion at times.
I think like, this is the American retail.
Yes, totally. It's because I don't think of the middle stuff. I'm like at the end, I'm like, I'm sure I need this. I need this for something. And
it'd be good to have.
So now no more browsing. I'm trying not to browse, even at stores. Like I go in if I need something because I love browsing. Like I'll go.
Well, of course. That's the whole point of it.
Now that we're up,
that's what you can't do online. You really can't get a good browse going. You try to simulate it, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, and now that we're in San Bernardino County, there are Walmarts. And that's like what there is instead of. I mean, there's Target too, but
Targets. Yeah,
really, Walmart is the closest. Yeah, and I'll go there, and I'm like, why do I just like walking around these places? It just makes me feel great. Even Walmart.
Abundance.
Walmart can be
abundance of things.
Walmart can be rough. Walmart can be rough. It is, but it really is like Walmart is a pretty good sense of just American society in general. I think walking around a Walmart, I think it's a pretty good like it's like you got everything. You got like higher end. You'll see like Mercedes and BMWs in the Walmart parking lot, but you'll also see the guy that rolls up on a bike with flat tires trying to look for like one piece to pump up the tire and whatever.
The 30-year-old guy on a girl's bike. Tiny
100%
girl's bike.
100%.
My Little Pony.
And then you got security in and out for everything, and you got full families. You have grocery stores, but nothing fresh. So it's like no fruit or vegetables, fruits or vegetables.
Yeah.
But everything's packaged, and then you can get just enough of everything to never have to not go to Walmart. Like you get your couch pillows and a bucket and also some tools and definitely screwdrivers.
Grocery store tools. I mean, that's one of my favorite classes of tools.
But they work just enough.
Just enough until they break. Yeah.
And they're just cheap enough to where you can afford them. And you think they might like, well, this is $4. This probably works. Probably won't fall apart.
It'll work for today.
If it was $3, it would fall apart. But $3.99 screwdriver, I think we're good. I think this will last me for a while.
Oh my God! I think the last Walmart I went in was in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah. After a show on tour a couple of years ago, Dean and I we were not prepared for winter. We just jumped on the plane with a jacket. Maybe and a light sweatshirt and a jacket, and then we were driving from Cleveland to Philly or something. And it was just like, oh Jesus, this is cold. This is really cold. Yeah. So then we got long johns at a at a Walmart and some more toothpaste and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, since I'm here, okay, might as well stock up.
You got some fuses for the van. Oh, you replaced the dome light. You replaced the dome light in the van. You got new seat covers.
One of the
steering wheel heating.
One of those steering wheel bumpy things. It's supposed to be good. It's therapeutic for your hands.
Yeah. You got a bunch of stuff you didn't know you
I
needed.
mean, truck stop CDs. Those used to be the best.
Oh, the best.
I mean, that's really, the streaming
you
world
find
is,
like the 40 hits of hip hop.
oh my God.
I mean,
and
you'd find really crazy stuff, like really crazy compilations.
Do you know MC Hammer made a covers record of country hits?
Oh my
God! When did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I found it at the Loves.
Yeah.
In Dallas.
Another those big Loves truck stops though. I could walk around those for hours if I had time.
Oh yeah.
Like with the hats, like the amount of hats that I've bought at truck stops that are, like a nice, like, again, you're going somewhere, it's too cold, you forget, and you go and buy one of those, the nylon hats with the fuzzy inside with the big ears that come down.
Yeah. The flap hats. You need a flap hat.
Flap hats, and you got like, just looking at everything, you're like, oh, if I just had the money, I would buy this unicorn jewelry box.
What about also, like the weird short bat the truckers use to like hit the tires? Like, have you seen those things? It's kind of like almost like a billy club. Why do they do that?
Is that what those are for? I figured that was for like warding off like a security thing.
Lot lizards. Get out of here. I got the billy club.
I don't know.
I thought they were for hitting the tires. I thought you had to hit the tires for some reason.
If you hit the tires, because that way you don't have to check. Like, you kind of know the pressure if it doesn't bounce back right. You're like, ooh, this one's low.
I have no idea. I mean, those pressure gauges, those are great too. They look like little crack pipes.
Yeah.
A little silver thing with a little bulb at the end.
Yeah. I always have two of those in the car, even though I never use them. Because now my car has like electronic
tell you
pressure.
It's under pressure.
I still have those. Just, you never know.
You never know.
I also now have a window scraper in my car all the time too.
That's probably good. Yeah.
But even during the summer, I won't take it out. I now am that guy in the summer driving around with a window scraper.
Yeah, because where are you going to put it? If you're just going to put somewhere and lose it and have to go back to the store and spend $40 on a $5 scraper,
and I'll
you need the scraper, but you need everything else.
I'll come out with bunny slippers,
a big paddle, a ball and a paddle, a giant foam cowboy hat.
Yep,
it's like Dumb and Dumber. Like, big gulps, huh? All right. Giant Slim Jim.
Do you know that original Big Gulps were only 22 ounces?
Oh no, what are they, 40 now?
Well, that's like a medium soda 44? Now at
right,
McDonald's or whatever. It's like a 22 ounce.
And
that was the original Big Gulp. Yeah. When it was like your parents wouldn't even let you get one. Like, that is way too much soda. And now that's a medium.
I don't know, man. I have to say, I'm a fan of too much soda. I know New York City was trying to like limit the size of soda cups and whatnot, but I think
don't do that to me.
Let the people drink what they want to drink. Otherwise, because it's not like you're really regulating it. You just buy two. And it's like saying, like a 40-ounce beer is too much, but here's an 18 pack. Here's a rack.
I do have to
It's
say,
like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? Well, it's in one container. You really need to buy like 50 containers. That's just going to be better for you. It's not really the amount of containers. If you really have an issue with how much people who want to drink to excess, whether that's soda, alcohol, whatever, the container will not be the thing to deter them.
And I feel like that's probably like the Cup Council who's pushing that one. Like, let's Big Cup is really pushing that
Daisy,
regulation, because
that Daisy Corporation making those wax paper cups.
Yeah,
God damn it!
Let's make them buy two, man. How can we make them buy two? Well, let's regulate the amount of soda so that people have to buy two. You're a genius, Bob. Let's go through. Let's buy our house. Yeah. Let's go to our houses in Cancun and push this one through.
And not to sound like
the Big Cup,
the voting for the bad guy, but the best, if anybody that's ever worked in like food sales or anything, it's like the cup itself costs 5 cents, right? Yeah. That's the most expensive product in that supply chain, because the water, syrup, and CO2 is all under a penny. Per unit, maybe get up to 2 pennies.
Like that's all those. But
these were 80s prices, I remember. But it's on the cups. Well, but it's all profit. I mean, it's but the cup is the most expensive part of that thing. So I don't understand. Again, you sell more cups. Maybe the cup company makes more, but the place itself doesn't make any more really by the cup. But because that was the thing, you'd have to inventory, and that's how they knew. Like, so free refills make the most sense in the world. Because the cup, again, is the most expensive thing. So you're going to go back and, okay, you just got 2 cents of product, of the syrup or whatever, splash of syrup and water and CO2, and then you go back and you get more. The cup is still, you're not reselling the cup, you're fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My uncle on my mom's sister's husband ran a company that serviced Coke machines, which I had no idea was a thing as a kid, but then we learned because we would hang out there. My mom did accounts payable for him, or did something for the company, and it was a small office in the front, and just a giant warehouse with pallets and pallets of syrup and CO2. And it was incredible. I learning the behind the scenes of, and they had a Coke machine at the office, so I could go there, visit my mom, ride my bike over to the office in the industrial part of our industrial park near our house in our little neighborhood, and you just get free Cokes all day long, as much as you wanted. It was amazing. And then even at my uncle's house, at my cousin's house, they had a Coke machine in the backyard. It was incredible.
Amazing.
I was like, this was great. But to look at that and kind of see the whole process of how it all worked and everything, and they'd service them, they'd sell them, they'd get an account for whatever, the chain places with, but like the movie theaters, they would do all the movie theaters in the area. So we'd always get free, or they'd get free movie tickets, and I'd get to go with them, those kinds of things. Like, hey, well, yeah, we have the silver pass there. We do all the accounts for all these places. I was like, what?
You're like a VIP.
Yes.
You get that VIP soda service.
Oh my God.
And that's why I wanted to start a band.
Yeah.
to become I wanted VIP service.
I wanted free sodas.
Free sodas everywhere.
Like, hey, pal,
I found out about a rider.
Yeah. I mean, most bars, the fact that they serve for non-alcoholic drinks at a bar, shameful. For a splash of Diet Coke in the dirty cup.
Yeah.
So it should be free.
Yeah. I feel like
support your sober people.
It really did used to be, though, that if you were there, like, hey, I'm driving tonight, usually they would just give you a Coke. Like, yeah, just fine.
Right? Yeah.
Come get Cokes.
Yeah.
But then the last time I went. It's
a good idea. $6.
Yeah. And I wasn't drinking, and I got a Coke at a bar, and it was $3.50. I was like, $3.50? For what?
And you can't not tip. Yeah, you can't not tip. Yeah, you have to tip on that.
I was like, oh God, kids these days.
You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think getting back to Josh, I feel like he's really made a life of being on the road. I couldn't believe it. From his own bands to then becoming a tech. Kind of the behind the scenes guy. It seems like he's just living that. He's one of those pirates. He's just constantly on the road.
I don't know how you do it. I mean, like he said that it was like he feels like the payment is actually just for
the
being
travel
away from home.
Yeah,
yeah, just being away from home. That's what you're getting paid for, because it's like that's the rough part. Like everything else is fun and exciting.
You're with your friends,
like,
you're out on the road.
You're with your friends and you're working on
hotels,
gear that
you're eating
love.
good food.
Yeah, I mean, I always felt like I never was in any sort of situation where I was consistently touring at all. Probably the longest I went out was like 2 weeks with that band Dios.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually releasing their first album on double vinyl maybe this week. I don't know. It looks very cool.
We should have him on the show.
You said have Joel. Do you know?
Promote it. Yeah. I feel like we'd never really met. I know.
Oh, really?
We have so many friends in common.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, you should have Joel and Jimmy. A couple of those guys. I mean, they're also, I think JP now is who played bass, and they actually used, like, he kind of had the home studio that they all used at the very beginning. And I think he's writing scripts right now. Like,
I don't know.
Him and a partner are writers and writing scripts, and then Jimmy and Joel are always playing, doing something. So I've shot photos of them on and off over the years. God, for 20 years now. It's crazy. But that first tour I went on with them, I think was 2003 or 2004. And it was long enough.
You felt it. Well, that's the hard part.
like
Yeah, when you're not playing,
too.
When you're on stage every night, then like there's that payoff. But to do all the work, if not more work, and travel and do all the stuff, and then not be on stage, that's really hard.
Yeah, I just like being home. I mean, I think even when I traveled, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to enjoy traveling someday. And then I'm like, I don't know. I do. I like going with the family, like for all of us to go on a trip or something. But I definitely have zero interest in going anywhere by myself. I don't have that in me. Like I go somewhere else and I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm still just in my head. I might as well just be home. I don't know really what I'm getting out of this. Unless I have it was different. Like if I had a shoot and I was shooting, which was like the ultimate benefit of being a photographer was like flying in somewhere, shooting for like a day or a day and a half, and then leaving and being home in 3 days.
Yeah,
like
quick,
that was
quick turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would get like, you know, and it would
4
be
weeks to get
for shoot. Like, yeah. And it'd be for like a magazine and you'd get paid like $400, but then they'd pay for everything. So you get like the hotel and the airfare and enough money for food and whatever. And then you'd go, I'd be like flying to New Orleans and go in with Fiddler for 3 shows or whatever. and then super fun, crazy, and then get on a plane and go home. That was fun. But I think like having to drive 8 hours a day and sell merch and take photos and then go somewhere to drink, wake up hungover, and then have to drive the next day. It was fun for the first 4 days for me. And then after it got longer than that, I was like, what are we doing today?
Same thing we do every day.
Drive,
load in.
But we also got Sabertooth Tiger got to go to Australia because of friends.
Yeah.
That were in bands over there. And we got to go there
that's worth doing.
12 days. That was the most fun. But that was like fully crazy vacation. I don't know. Yeah, we got to play a bunch of cool venues and so that was fun. But then I don't know.
You're boring yourself.
No, it was fun once. But I think like if someone went, it'd be like, the second time would never be as fun as the first time. So I don't know. I don't really, unless you were offering me a ton of money, which was never happening in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
Anytime that we actually went out of town to play, like I think maybe once we came home with like $100 or something. But
that's wild.
And it all just went to Dave, our drummer, who paid for the practice space because he had like 6 bands. So we're like, all the money just goes to Dave. Give it to Dave. By the way, I should tell his new band. He has like a super crazy metal band. And they just released an album. I'll look it up. I'll tell everybody at the end. It's heavy. It's really good. I haven't seen him in a while, and he just sent this post. And double bass and and then like super crazy time changes, 9-minute songs. The whole thing is awesome.
Oh my god, that's wild.
Anyway,
what was I going to say? So Josh was fun. Have on talk gear. I didn't ask him about Fall Out Boy. I guess has a flame throwing bass. I saw
I heard him
on his Instagram. Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's wild.
And of course
he has to be in charge of that. Yeah. There's this, I feel like it's that level of just touring too at that level when you're playing arenas and things like, there's a lot of leeway for things you get away with. And it makes sense. You would need a tech to kind of keep track of all those things. Again, and plus you can afford to pay your buddy to come out and tune all your guitars and make sure everything's plugged in. So you just show up.
And you need to keep yourself.
You don't have to worry about it.
Keep yourself interested too. It's like, what am I going to do on this tour? All right, let's put a flamethrower in the bass. Let's do that. That seems amazing.
I remember always hearing the stories about Rush. Like Geddy Lee would have like a row of like rotisserie chicken, ovens on stage instead of all the amps. I think he would just play direct. He would just plug the bass direct into the PA. He always had stuff behind him. I think he had washing machines, like washer and dryers.
Oh my god, I love those guys. I love that band so much. They're so weird. It is the ultimate. Ultimate nerd band of all times.
Yes.
Like even when when they got Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Alex went up and just said what did he say? He just said like gibberish on the mic. I don't remember. There's a YouTube clip of it, and he goes up and he's like, I feel like he just says gibberish and then walks off. It's amazing. Amazing.
Insane. Yeah, I didn't really understand Rush until they had a documentary that came out, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was just all about them. I was like, oh, okay. Now I can sort of understand the context for sort of what they're doing.
Was that the one when Neil Peart left? Like they went on the whole thing about him leaving for so many years and going off on his motorcycle and getting sick and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, his like wife and daughter died within like a year of each other.
Yeah.
And so he just sort of had this like existential sort. I think he was always he was the lyricist of the band and sort of the thinker of the group.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, the kind of more sensitive poet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds gnarly.
It is funny though when they were talking about that, because I remember, because that was like one of my first favorite bands. It was like Rush and Led Zeppelin, because that was my buddy's my buddy Matt, his older brother Pete would make us mixtapes, and then he'd be like, Rush, here's the greatest hits of Rush, and he would make it himself, you know, and it had not liner notes, but it would have all the stuff written out, and so of course if Pete was playing it, that was our favorite band too.
That'd be cool.
And then I was like 6th grade, probably 7th grade, and then I was also learning how to play drums, and so then it was like Neil Peart.
Oh geez.
It was like, whoop, there we go. Here's my favorite band forever.
here's the thing to shoot for. Here's my Northern Star. Yeah.
I want a drum set with 48 drums. One of my first jobs shooting for Guitar Center was to shoot to shoot Neil Peart's drum kit.
Whoa.
And I was sitting there. I was like,
Neil Peart wasn't there, just the drum kit? Okay.
I mean, I was more interested in the drum kit anyway. I was like, but they put it all together. It was like I don't remember which tour or whatever, but it was like 45 different, drums and a gong and the cymbals.
But it was the kind of the stuff that would like lock into like the floor, right? He had his like own floor. The riser was part of the kit.
Oh, I'm
sure. He needed to have
that
riser because stuff was like.
How would you even? They probably had a whole truck just for that. Like, he probably didn't even put it away. I mean, they probably didn't shut it down. They probably like just took it and rolled it into a truck
to show people.
I'd imagine. But yeah. Anyway, what was I? Oh, but then, and listening to the lyrics of like, I will have free will, and blah blah blah, and then later on going, oh wait, he was like a big Ayn Rand guy, I think.
Oh no.
And then looking back and going, oh, so okay, I see where these lyrics are coming from. All right, you know what? Everyone else
wasn't all just hobbits and wizards. I thought they were.
No. It was very like. I mean, it was about the forest and the trees and the this and that, but it was very political.
Yeah, I just remember the logo. It just seemed like, is this like a Satan band?
Oh,
it was like a giant pentagram in it, right? I mean, you just would see that like on the wall of patches at the record store or something.
Yeah,
like,
2112. 2112 was my first tape that I asked my mom for Christmas, and I remember getting it, and she was like, "I mean, I just really want to make sure that this is not problematic."
Did you listen to it like this?
I'm like, Mom, a pentagram is upside down. This is just a 5-pointed star. It's fine.
Oh gosh,
that's so funny. Yeah, I think I was in 6th or 7th grade.
I would say, I didn't appreciate Rush until hearing the Pavement song, where on Stereo, I think it's a song like, "What about the voice of Geddy Lee?" Yeah,
how does it get so high?
I wonder if he speaks like an ordinary guy. I know
I've heard
him. He does.
And he does.
Yeah. And you're my fact-checking cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That's what I was like, okay, well then maybe Rush is cool if Pavement's singing about him.
They have so many great songs, like so many. I just, even speaking of Walmart, the last time I was in Walmart, Tom Sawyer came on. I was like, this might be one of the greatest songs of all time. I love this song.
So it's funny. I remember
Tom Sawyer gets high on you. Spicy invader gets by on you.
Whoa. I remember the early years of Dean and I hanging out. Dean from No Age. When we went to Hawaii to visit my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And we sang karaoke. My mom had like a karaoke party, and
Yeah.
Dean put on Tom Sawyer, and I had no idea who Rush was, and he sang all of Tom Sawyer at
Oh,
karaoke in
is
Hawaii.
Dean a closet Rush fan, or
I
did he
guess
just know that
so,
song?
or he just knew that song. I don't know exactly the whole. Yeah, it was
Amazing.
not a lot. There was not a lot of other Rush later in life, but he knew that song. Maybe he
Yeah.
was. Maybe he loved him at the time, or he's just a record store nerd. At that point,
Limelight is a song
working.
about
Yeah,
being in a band. It's so many.
maybe
There's so
to
many
keep
great
looking at it.
songs.
I do like his the Geddy Lee collaboration with Bob and Doug McKenzie from SCTV, the Take Off
Wait,
to the Great
I
White
don't know this
North. Do you
one.
know this one? So there
No.
was the Strange Brew, the
Yeah.
movie with it was the Rick Moranis
Yeah.
and the other guy. I'm spacing on his name. Uh,
Yeah. Me too.
but Geddy Lee sings on the theme song like "Take off to the Great White North." Take
No
off.
way.
I can't. I mean, but
I didn't know
picture that
that.
like 10 octaves higher.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because they're
it's great.
Canadian.
Yeah, take off, and then it's just kind of them talking like, "Oh yeah, hey, this would be great. This should be like our song. We get like Geddy Lee to sing on it, and this would be really cool." And then it comes in, and then it's really catchy. Take off.
Are they the greatest Canadian band
Uh,
other
Rush,
than
sure.
Brian
Tragically
Adams?
Hip.
No, Ryan Adams.
Oh
No,
right,
Brian Adams.
I don't
Brian
know.
Adams. Brian
I don't
Adams
know.
was Canadian, right?
I'm sure I'd get in trouble with somebody. I don't know enough about my Canadian history of music. Who else would be considered a Canadian band?
I mean, Drake.
Oh,
Just kidding.
yeah. No, I'm going with
That's
Rush. Rush is the greatest
contentious.
Canadian
Yes.
band.
Rush is greater than Drake. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
song. I'm
Fucked
gonna do
Up. Fucked Up is a Canadian band.
ooh, that's a good band.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to play with them with Rat Fist.
That's right. We did 2 shows.
Yeah.
3 shows.
That was the
2
biggest
shows.
that was the biggest place I ever played.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the El Rey.
That was the beginning. That was the beginning of Ratfest, and it was all downhill from there.
That was
Came out.
Speaking of second guitar players, that was the last time you guys had a second guitar player was when I played guitar with you guys.
I think you did it there, and then when we went to the East Coast, and I had my friend Yella. Was that before?
Oh, right.
Was that before
No.
we played with you, or that was after?
That might have been before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we tried that one out. Yeah, it was a fun idea. It was
fun.
It's kind of failed experiment. We were on a public access show in New York with Yella.
Oh, really?
Did I ever show you that footage?
No.
It's pretty good. It's again like high accomplishments early on in the band, and then another 3
Public
years
access.
kind of just sort of fizzled out. But it's the first year. We probably should just cut our losses then.
I feel like
trying. I wasn't going to give up.
No, that was fun. That was fun. I like those shows. Those are good. I pulled up the photos. I sent those photos to Lila the other day when Lila and Towns came to
oh yes,
Rat Fist practice. But that's before I played. That's when I was just taking photos of
shooting
you guys.
photos. Oh my god, that's
and
right.
Lila
But they were
Towns
just
sitting
tiny.
there.
They were like
and they had their little
4
headphones
or 5
on.
years old, 6 years old maybe.
Yeah, probably Lila would have been maybe she would have been first grade. So Towns would have been pre-kindergarten, like maybe 4. Yeah, they were little.
Flies by.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So many failed bands, so little time.
They're not failures; they're building blocks, Randy.
Yeah.
They're building
right. So many character builders.
Yeah.
Well, with Halloween passed, I saw you sent me some photos. You saw some good stuff. You saw some decorations. Yeah, where'd you go?
Yeah, I mean, there's just one place that everyone goes up here. There's one neighborhood, and I feel like the vibe every year is completely different. I always want to go, and then once I'm there, I kind of want to go home most of the time. Because now it's not like, it's like when our kids were small enough to where you'd walk around with them. I feel like you have something to do.
Now, are they both independent? They don't want you hanging? Just drive them?
Well, not even that. They don't want us. They just have their friends, and they're like, later. I mean, Lila didn't even come home from school. She just went straight from school to her friend's house, and then they just drove there because
they got ready over there. And then,
yeah.
Wow.
And then one of their friends lives in the neighborhood, so they just went and hung out there. And then, so we see them walking around, and then
you just observe your child from afar, like, "Hello, my child."
Yeah, it's like
I will see you later.
It's like maybe 15 square blocks, and it's all like the lake is on one side, and then the highway is on the other side, and then it's like this little square that's in between where all the houses are kind of close to each other. It's very similar to, I don't know, like Eagle Rock or something like that, like
Okay.
those neighborhoods
Yeah.
in Eagle Rock. And but it's kind of where everybody goes. So then it's a lot of kids and fun. Everybody like makes their house up, so there's a bunch of stuff. But then it can also just be crazy, and there's like high school kids getting in fights and like whatever. This place is
A
crazy.
little wild. I know
Yeah,
Shannon and I were talking about that. Yeah, we kind of did a similar thing. We went to a neighborhood that we knew was good, and again, like you just kind of hit all the houses in one thing. You say, okay, we did it, and
yeah,
there was that thing of like, oh, remember, but was it better when we were kids and it was like this or that? And I was like, and I kind of took the contrarian side of it. I was like, no, I think this is way better. And it's like the houses all go all out. I mean, I think when we were kids, it'd be like, maybe 5 out of 100 houses would be really into it.
oh
And
yeah,
then maybe like 30 of them would actually give out candy, but you just kind of had to walk. And then,
yeah,
the lights would be out. And then you'd get, you'd get whatever candy you got and then you came back. But
yeah.
now it's like, you drive for 20 minutes and you go to this neighborhood where almost every single house, so you get like, 100 houses have gone all out with the Home Depot
Where do you guys
explosions.
go? Is there a neighborhood up by you that
Yeah,
does
kind of
that?
near Montrose, in the little
Oh,
the
okay.
northern Glendale area,
Uh huh.
and it is great. But it was so fun, and then all the kids go, and then our kids see other kids. That's the other thing too is when we were kids, it's like you'd see one or two or a handful of other people wandering around, and
Yeah.
couple houses. Again, you're good for an hour or two, but it's not as like intense as this, where it's just like the whole street gets taken over by trick or treaters and
Yeah.
families and big roving bands, and you can meet up with different friends and join the group, and every house is excited about it, and they're all decorated. I was like, this
Yeah.
seems way better than that. This is the whole
Yeah.
thing. Like everyone's into it, and then the other neighborhoods where they're not really into it, they're like, cool, good for
Yeah.
you,
Stay away.
you guys, yeah, we're not coming to you, we're not
Yeah.
bothering you. You
We're
do
all.
your thing, we'll do ours. Like we put like for whatever reason our street doesn't have a lot of uh, um, street lights and there's no sidewalks. So I
Yeah.
get like it's not really an inviting neighborhood to walk down.
Yeah.
If you got to walk into the street and there's no lights, it's dark.
Yeah.
I'd stay away from there too. So we still put our bucket or our bowl of candy out, but no one came. But it was fun. It was fun to go
Yeah.
somewhere else and be like, cool, this is rad. I think this is a good thing. This is one of those things where I think progress
Yeah.
works. you know,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
I think when I was growing up, we were in a pretty new-ish neighborhood in the suburbs, but like it wasn't like a, yeah, whatever. The houses were newish, so all the
yeah.
families were young when we were there, and so there were a ton of kids everywhere. So we could just walk out our door. Like we would get maybe,
You were in
I
the
think
cool neighborhood already.
when we were kids, we'd maybe get 100 trick or treaters or
Wow,
something,
it's
maybe
huge.
more.
Yeah,
But it was totally walkable, not sidewalks necessarily, but the streets were wide enough, and you'd see everyone running around and riding bikes. We'd ride bikes or whatever, and to try to get more candy and all that kind of stuff. But now that neighborhood, since everybody just stayed there, they're all our age, or they're all my
they've
parents'
inherited
age
the houses, or yeah,
or younger, and there's way less kids in that area. And so then I think that there aren't even that many trick or treaters that are there anymore. But even when we were in LA, we never lived in a neighborhood that had a lot of kids or trick or treaters or anything. So we used to always drive to Eagle Rock, where
yeah.
that big mansion row or whatever up on Hill Street, and it was amazing. I mean, there'd be like literally 10,000 people there, and the those huge mansions would have like not haunted houses, but they deck out their whole yards, and then you walk through the front yards, and there's like big animatronics, and there's people hanging from telephone poles, and there's like people doing Thriller in the middle of the street with like 30 people, and
Yeah.
they just like it was chaos for like 5 hours, and our but organized chaos. Like everybody was kind of on the street, and everyone would go house to house. But our friends lived there on the one of the bottom, like the hills going down towards the highway, and they were right at the bottom of that hill, and we would all go there first and have kind of like a Halloween party, and then like set off with the kids from there, and we would all bring 3 or 4 bags of candy, and there were enough kids It was constant kids for 5 hours. And we'd go through like 20 bags of candy or something crazy.
That's the best.
Yeah, but it's so fun. And
yeah.
And
How could you
I
hate
agree.
Halloween with that? Yeah.
That was fun.
That was the good stuff.
But I enjoyed it because the kids were little, and so you'd walk with them.
Yeah,
I think with Halloween
we're still
for
at
me
that
now,
age.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I just sit here and like go like, okay, I guess I could put, if I wanted to, I could put like a drink in a coffee cup, and like you can walk around. But I kind of I'd rather be home.
Yeah. Well, if you're not walking with the child, it's not really for you. It's funny. My 10-year-old figured out he could wear 2 different costumes and get twice as much candy. Like he has one costume and swapped out for another costume. And then he also went out with like me and Shan and the youngest, and we did a run as a family. And then we had a home base at a friend's house in that area, a friend of a friend. And so then the little guy was pooped. I can't walk anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
And then Ryder went back out with his with another group of friends. So he did 3 runs of this like populated thing, and we did the one kind of early when there was still a lot of light out, for the little guys and stuff. And so that was easy. And then he so he had 3 runs. He got the most candy he'd ever gotten and was just so pumped on it that he's just like
figured it out. How could you not think this is the best? It's better than Christmas. It's better than everything.
This is everything. Yeah. This is everything he wanted it to be.
It's like the first time too that they get a little bit of like autonomy to go out and like they can run like a block away from you, and you're like, okay, I know. Although one time when he was really little, Towns wanted to go as a ninja, and so he was all dressed in black, face covered and everything. And then we went out, and him and some of the kids just went off to the houses, and we're like, wait, where'd
they go?
Where's Towns? I'm like, he's all dressed in black. There's like thousands of people here. And, we lost him for like 10 minutes. And then he was just going house to house, so he didn't even know we were.
He didn't know he was lost.
He didn't look for us. He wasn't looking for us or anything. We had the whole search party out and everything.
Oh my god! Yeah, and I found these little like neon like strings you could do, to attach them to some batteries. Yeah, I just kind of wrapped both kids in those. Like, this isn't part of my costume. Like, doesn't matter. It's getting dark here. Just wrap this around your face. That way I can see you wherever. You're going to be pink and you're going to be green. I can see you guys wherever you're at here.
Yeah, we had those like glow necklaces that they would wear. After that year, we're like, you guys are all wearing glow necklaces.
We're not going to put you on a leash. However,
be green.
We will have some
shock collars. You'll be shocked if you walk too far away from us.
Yeah, do not run in front of cars. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, no, Ryder asked, he's like, is it going to be, like how? What did he say? How old are you when you have to stop trick or treating? I was like, well, somewhere around in your teens, you're going to want to like go to parties. It's not that you can't go trick or treating, but it starts to become a little less fun for you.
Less fun.
Somewhere between, so I'd say probably from like, what did I tell him, from like, 15 to 30, you probably won't trick or treat. You probably just go to parties,
and then you start trick or treating again.
And then you're like me. Look at me. I'm old as shit, and I'm trick or treating right now. Technically, I'm walking around with a sack of candy. So I've been doing it now for a few years. So it's like you get to do it for a while, then you don't do it, and then you get to do it again.
And then it's fun again.
It'll come back. Yeah, don't worry about it. I think he was already having that feeling of like, oh, is this my last Halloween? Like, no, you're fine. You just go have fun.
He's starting to have some of his first existential crisis of like, there's going to be some day that I won't trick or treat. Yeah, that can't be right. It can't be right.
Yeah,
it doesn't compute.
What kind of life is that? I don't want to be an adult. Awesome. All right. Well, yeah. Cool. Well, we got November. I was working on Publishers Sweepstake November.
Ooh, okay.
But I have 2 so far. I need a 3rd and 4th still. I'm in process. So I think I'm going to go forward with it.
Yeah.
So our Publishers November. We got Clint Woodside from
is that next
Deadbeat
week?
Club. That's this week. This Thursday.
This Thursday will be Clint. And then I'll have JC from Hat and Beard Press. Amazing.
And I need 2 more. I reached out to a couple people. I think they were busy. So if you are a publisher and would like to be featured on Hyphenate, reach out to us at Hyphenate Halftime at gmail.com, or find us on Instagram at Randy S. Randall or at Aaron Farley. And let us know. Yeah,
hit us up.
What are you doing? What are you doing out there? You making books? Tell us about it. It sounds like
Hey,
fun.
you making books out there? Hey, give us a call.
You like to make them books?
Yeah, making a books. Hey, yeah, that would be awesome. I love Clint. I love JC.
Yeah, I know.
I'm excited to hear those.
Who else is in the game? Who do we got here? Where are the LA art book people at? I haven't seen. I guess I've fallen out of the art book crowd.
Well, those are two different people too, because like Clint is specifically photography, which is amazing, and then JC is just JC. Like he's a behemoth
Impresario.
unto himself.
Yes.
Of all of the things that he does and deals with, and work. I mean, you've already interviewed multiple people who have worked with JC.
He's
projects and books.
He's pushed people my way. Yeah, I'll find someone. I'll make it happen.
Cool.
Awesome, man.
All right. I'll think of some people too.
Yeah. If you think of anybody, let me know. And then the Dios guys also. Yeah, put me in touch with those guys. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
talk to them.
Be awesome.
Yep. All right, everybody. Good job surviving Halloween. Now the real horror begins tomorrow with the election. I hope that we are all okay. I guess by Thursday we will know what the condition of the world will look like. I imagine I'll have to address it in some way, shape, or form. Also, today's Monday. If anybody's listening to this that hasn't voted, go vote for Kamala Harris, because that's just easy to do.
Yeah.
So make sure, especially if you're in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, any of those swing states, if you haven't already figured it out or haven't made a decision or haven't yet already voted, why not? Go vote for Kamala Harris. Come on.
You're on that pendulum. Like, boy, there sure are great things about both of these people.
If only an hour into a podcast with two guys talking, if somebody would tell me who to vote for. If only that was the time now. I needed to know who they're going to vote for.
That's the thing that threw me over the edge. Listening to Hyphenate halftime the day before.
You never know. Hey, man.
The one single vote in Pennsylvania. The
one day before the election, and I didn't know who I was going to vote for, but then I heard Randy and Aaron say, go vote for Kamala. Then, wow. It wasn't Saturday Night Live. It wasn't Joe Rogan. It wasn't all the other media who has been telling me who to vote for.
This was the moment. Any of them.
If this is the moment, I'm just telling you, man, sure would be cool. Go out there and vote for Democrat if you can. But we'll see. Next time you hear from me, we'll be through the looking glass into whatever kind of world is set to befall us all.
Yes, life will.
May God have mercy on our souls.
Life will go on in one way or another.
Oh, what is it? Yeah,
it always
life
does.
will still go on. Oh, believe me, but God only knows what the world will happen. Dun 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 dun. All right, that's a good place to end it.
Yes. All right.
All right. Bye.
See you, Randy.